welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. All right, guys. I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is emotions running high. The change is here. The change is here. So, let's see how this plays out. Because I'm not sure how this is going to play out. And I'm kind of curious. I'm actually very curious. Give me 1 second. Um, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, no, no, not yet. Not yet. Huh. That's interesting. So I was just trying to um get to the live stream page, and something interesting just happened. The live stream tried to end itself. Yeah. Now the screen is completely black. Okay, let me just finish getting these cards ready. Just get these cards ready, okay? Alrighty. Okay. Okay. Just like to. La 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 la. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. All right. Here goes, guys. Here goes. Okay. Let's get started. So, emotions running high, the change is here. There's a lot of stuff that's happening, I assume, that's causing you to feel some type of way. Nice. Very nice. Okay. A lot of triggering. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense to me. So here's the thing. Whatever's happening, it's causing you to feel the need to exert some boundaries, to push back, right? Um, Not necessarily be combative, but to just push back, to get yourself in a space where you're like, no, if I say no, that means no, and that is that. It needs to be that way. It needs to be that way. You need to make sure that you know what you want, you talk about what you want, communicate it, and then you enforce it. Okay, that's how you're going to get back into a space of balance. I think a lot of what's happening right now is that, maybe you had some guardians and guides and whatnot, and it's been something that has maybe been a source of comfort for you, which that would be very understandable. That would be very, very understandable how that could be a source of comfort. But you can't become dependent on those things. That's something external from you. And so what's happening now is creation is setting the stage to slightly pull back. And it's going to cause you to feel as though you have no guardians right now, as though you have no team to back you up. That's not true. You absolutely have a team to back you up. It's just right now, you're kind of being pushed into a space of understanding your actual power. This is nothing more than just a cycle. It's not an upside down cycle either. It's just a cycle that you have to go through, a cycle that you're probably sick and tired of. I know I am. I don't even know what the cycle I'm in is. I know I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it, you know? Um, and there goes the emotions running high. Like there's nothing wrong, but that topic coming up, that thought coming up makes me feel like, you know what? Yeah, my ancestors are sick of me. Well, I'm sick of them too. Emotions are funny like this. It is what it is. Okay. Ooh, reclaim your crown. A notification just came in and it says reclaim your crown. And I think this is the process you're going through to do that. I absolutely feel this. Now, whatever this is, it's going to trigger a resurfacing of some of your like old traumas, your old hurts. It's going to rise to the surface. Why? Well, because you need to know what parts of you are ready to heal at this point. That's the only reason why. Okay, so you got to go through the motions. You got to start healing it. You need to take accountability for the things that you've done, right? Because for some of us, um, yes, we've been done wrong, but also, yes, we're not taking a look at how we contributed to that, how we enabled that, how we also played our part. We co created it, right? For every circumstance, you play a part in the creation and the perpetuation of it. For every circumstance, it's not about blame. It's not about like, oh, it's your fault. You didn't do enough. You this, you that. It's not about any of those things. It's about understanding your power and the way you used your power and what was the end result. If you can own your decisions and follow it through to the end result of what happened after you decided what you decided, you can then begin to understand, okay, well, if I choose this type of option next time, this is the possible outcome. And I don't like it. So maybe I'm not going to choose that, right? Maybe I'm not going to choose that. It's about you stepping into your true power. You're not going to step into your true power if you don't know how to utilize that power, how these different options are leading to the type of results you don't like. It's very simple. And for most of us, it's so simple that we don't think that could possibly be the answer. I mean, what would the other answer be? It's everyone else? Because that's not a feasible logic anymore. That's not something that's going to sustain you in a healthy way. That's going to be something that's going to open the door for more drama and more drama and more drama. I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of drama. I've been tired of drama. And because I've been tired of drama, I'm not going to choose the same options that I chose the last time that type of drama made its way into my life. I'm not doing the same things over again. Hell no. Hell no. So emotions are running high. The change is here. This is your opportunity to take a different route. This is the fork in the road. Oh. For people who can't take accountability for their own actions, for people who are, you know, only capable of seeing the wrong that was done to them, but incapable of recognizing the way they co created that circumstance to begin with, you're going to repeat the same thing. You're going to be very, very upset with how this turns out. That is your choice. That is your choice. I'm not going to try and convince you differently. You know, it reminds me, uh, it reminds me of someone who commented something on one of my videos on I think it was on TikTok. You guys know I have a social media person, right? And they just take clips from my live streams and they post it. I don't really know what the clips are about. I told them because I suffer from perfectionism and I will interfere and nothing will ever get posted if you leave it up to me. So they go ahead and they take the clips and they post it. I don't approve anything. That's the process I have to be in. And someone comments on one of the clips. I don't know what the clip's about. It's about the mirror stuff again. And they're like, we need you to cite your sources so that we can Google the information ourselves and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, don't use a sign. Don't use a symbol. It's not for you. You feel you're fine. It's not for you. Don't worry. Don't use the sign. And I'm sure they got mad. Like, ain't nobody trying to force you to do nothing, babe. Ain't nobody trying to force you to do anything. So then don't do it. It's fine. But see, it's the very people who act that way that actually need it the most. It's the very people who are consistently in denial of what they need and how they're not capable of doing it on their own right now because they're still healing through something, not because they're incapable, period. That's not a complete sentence to me. They're incapable right now because they're in the process of healing something that they're struggling to heal. And it's kind of this thing of, then don't do it. I mean, who's forcing you? It's information that's posted. It's just information that's posted. When your soul gives you information, it's just information you're made aware of. It's up to you what you're going to do with that information. For example, when you go to someone and you're trying to get life advice and they give you the justification to choose the thing that really has you so in your ego because your ego got hurt, your ego got bruised, um and then you do that, that's on you. Emotions are running high because we're all facing this fork in the road where we're either going to loop back around, circle after circle after circle after cycle after cycle after circle after circle after cycle after circle after cycle after circle after, I mean, don't you get tired of that? Or you could go the other way, and that's not a loop. That takes you somewhere. You don't know where, but it takes you somewhere. And it's up to you. It's up to you. If you want to stay in this space of comfort, doing the same damn thing you've been doing your entire life, before you decide that, I have one question for you. Are you happy where you're at and who you are right now? Because if you're not, that should tell you something. That should tell you something. And it shouldn't tell you that you're a bad person. It shouldn't tell you that you're a loser. It shouldn't tell you that you're worthless. It shouldn't tell you any of those ugly things. It should tell you that maybe it's a better option to choose the unknown because the unknown carries with it the potential of something completely opposite to the misery you've been experiencing for years on end. That's all it should tell you, right? That's all it should tell you. Hi, Iris. Iris says, yes, so tired getting off this roller coaster. Yeah, I like roller coasters, but I'm not going to spend my whole day there. There's other rides to ride, there's other things to see. And I don't live at an amusement park. I'm not here for cheap thrills. Once in a while, yes, we get on a roller coaster, but we have the ability to decide if we're going to ride on it again and again and again, right? This is about respecting yourself and your needs. For many of us, we disregard our needs, we disregard communication from soul. And that's because we've been conditioned and convinced to not trust ourselves. Whew. Oof, oof, oof. I cannot. I cannot. I can't. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. It's not about me. It's someone else's circumstance that I was made aware of. See, here's my thing. And this holds true across the board. Okay. Um, People often come to me asking me about relationships. They want to know about their relationship. They want to know if they should walk away. They want to know if they should hold on. They want to know this. They want to know that. And my logic is this: you already know what you want to do. You just don't have the courage to commit to that decision. Not only does that often hold true, meaning it's extremely rare for that to not be true. Um, I find that people who ask me relationship questions, they also, some also know what they need, know what they want. But the reason they won't choose that and commit to that is because their ego has been hurt. You see, it's very easy for someone who's psychic, someone who is connected to the spirit, whatever other terms they use, spiritualist, to say these things because there's zero ramifications to them. You listen to what they have to say, and you know what happens? You live with that. They don't. They walk away. They go to the next client and the next client and the next client. You live with what you decide to listen to. Case in point. Um, Someone came to me, introduced me to someone that they're interested in. And with the way the energy was set at that time, that person had lovely energy. I liked it. It was a lovely energy. There was a potentiality there. Fast forward a few months, that person's energy has absolutely turned to caca. Absolutely turned to caca. I didn't want to say anything. It was during a live stream. I didn't want to say anything. And I was like, you already made up your mind. Um, and then basically it was like they want my opinion. And I was like, I don't like him. I don't like him. I think he's a POS. Right. And it's weird because you rewind several months and it was like, they have a lovely energy. Things happen. When people read for you, they're reading the potentiality of right now, your mindset right now, the other people's mindset who are involved in that circumstance right now. Something shifts even 1 degree. You follow that down the road, and it's going to be a huge divergence if it goes down far enough. This is the very reason why I don't tell people what their purpose is. Even if I'm made to know, I don't tell them. I don't tell them. It very negatively impacts the person's journey. Emotions are running high. The change is here. If you're listening to anyone outside of yourself, I don't know. Right, girl? I was just like, this turned to poop. Yeah, no, I if you guys were there that like I went off. I was like, he's a piece of caca. Hey, things happen. People get breached, their mindset changes, they do things that were not part of the original trajectory because there's an external force exerting some degree of influence. Things can change. Things can change. I have someone who I've known for a very long time, and they're like asking me about some relationship stuff. I refuse to answer. I refuse because I don't want to negatively impact the trajectory. This is something they need to learn on their own as a pair. Need to learn that together, just the two of them. And then, um, I find out this morning there's an external force. I'm like, Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. You know, ah, it's up to you guys how you want to receive the information. My information is always intended to help you dive deeper into your own thoughts, your own experiences, so that you can come to a conclusion independent of everyone else. Like you need to come to the conclusion on your own. When people are dictating things to you, and I don't know who gave that individual the information, um, you know, I could easily just wash their hands. It's no, they didn't say that. They didn't this, they didn't that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'll give you guys an example. Years ago, I want to say it was like 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. Um, this is right at the start of the twin flame foolery, where like most people had not heard about it yet, and it was just a concept for those who were like spiritually elate, right? The people who thought they were spiritually elate. And it was this thing of this individual, I don't remember who it is anymore. This individual was like, oh my god, yeah, I could feel your twin flame is going through something. It needs you. And I was like, I'm married. Like, what the fuck? I'm married. And they're like, yeah, but you don't belong with your husband, basically, was what they were telling me. And that I need to run away with some stranger. And I was like, yeah, no. No, no, no. That's no, I'm sorry. And they were telling me that I was just making my life miserable, all kind of just crazy ass shit. This person barely knows me. And then they were like, yeah, no, they found their twin flame too. And like their twin flame's wife is a total bitch. Oh my God. And she's like a karmic. She's a karmic. And she's just like so hateful because she's the only reason why they're not together. Do you really think that? Yeah, they belong together. It's their destiny. Okay. Okay. I believe you. Okay. That's your destiny. That's not my destiny. That's your destiny. Yay, you found your destiny. And she's like, yeah, we're gonna be together once he finally gets a divorce and leaves his karmic, aka his wife, who he's cheating on with, right? Um, that they're gonna be together and they're gonna like do divine work together. They're gonna be in union, they're gonna do divine work together. And I was like, you go right ahead. All I know is I'm married. I'm married. Then a few years later, I was like, oh, this is gonna end bad. Um, but I'm gonna stay in my lane because they're convinced that this is what they need to do. By all means, you go right ahead and do what you need to do. A couple of years later, they reach out and they're like, oh my God, I mean, you were so right. He stole so much money from me. He's a scammer. He's this, he's that. Crickets. I got nothing to say. I got nothing at all to say. You know why I have nothing to say? Because the only thing logical that I could think of to say was, I fucking told you. I told you. I told you. That's all I could think of saying. And I was like, oh my. Oh man. Yikes. That's all that I could muster to type. Yikes. Had I listened to that person, uh, had I listened to that person, yo, I can barely stand myself some days. What makes you think I want to be in a relationship with someone just like me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Do you know how emo and intense I am? On the inside? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you want me to be in an environment with someone just as emo and intense as I am? That's mute as fuck. Are you kidding me? That is not healthy for me. That is so not healthy for me. Are you kidding? But you know what? Had I decided to listen to that person, guess who's to blame? Guess whose fault that is? Mine. Mine. Because it doesn't matter who tells you what. It matters what you decide to listen to. That's what matters. You need to push away all of these fears and insecurities that are causing you to enter into a space of disempowerment. You disempower yourself when you listen to everyone else but yourself. You know why my besties are my besties? Because when I go to them asking, hey, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? Usually, one of the first things that's said in response to my question is, the fact that you're asking that should already tell you. Yes, I know. I know. I know. I know. I just don't want to listen to myself. You have to listen to yourself because what's at stake is the fulfillment of your dreams, the fulfillment of the promises of soul. Soul's made you quite a few different promises of different experiences, different potentialities, different outcomes. And it wants to make good on those promises, but you're over here in a space of incubation, which for some people, we do need to be in a space of incubation because incubation gives us a space of safety and comfort where we can grow, continue that growth. For others of us, um, I mean, we just need to be in the experience itself, you know? The experience is a confirmation. The experience is a confirmation. Cal says we just asked for confirmation. Yeah. The experience is a confirmation. And sometimes because you've become so accustomed to gaslighting yourself into a space of thinking that you're completely oblivious, completely unaware, um, you need someone to verify what you're already picking up without telling them what you're already picking up, right? Um, yeah, I agree. Most of the time when we question, we already know the answer. I agree with you, Iris. I absolutely do. Oh, you're fighting your own process. Ooh, man, soul don't play with these type of things. Soul does not. Okay. So you're fighting your process. You're refusing to surrender to the process that you're in. I get it. I do. I do. I do that often. Right before soul grabs me by the hair and just drags me across the dry riverbed, naked in my truth. Twigs up the bottom. That's not a good feeling, right? When you put soul in a position where it feels like it has to drag you through the circumstance to get you to comply, to get you fully present for the learning, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. You get through it. It's not something you have to be afraid of, but I promise you, it's not going to be enjoyable. It's just not. It's not. It's going to rub you raw. But I mean, if you've developed a callus because you've been hurt and hurt and hurt and poked and prodded in the same place over and over, then maybe that does need to be rubbed raw. Maybe that needs to be shaved, you know, shaved down. What you're fighting is your transformation. This circumstance that you're in is the very circumstance that's going to take you to the space where you belong. And there's going to be people who are going to interfere with that, not necessarily because they're evil, right? Hi, Rochelle. Not necessarily because they're evil, but because guess what? Your soul is trying to amplify and elevate the degree of learning and commitment that you have towards your growth and your healing. That is not a bad thing. It's a challenging thing. It can be a painful thing. It's often an inconvenient thing, but it's not a bad thing. There's differences. There's differences. Your refusal to let go of whatever it is that soul is trying so hard to remove already. Man, there's so much. I'm thinking of this one circumstance. It's not my personal circumstance, so I can't really talk about it, but it's this thing of like, for some people, soul is trying to take a person out of your life and you keep trying to hold on to it. For other people, and this is the more painful type, soul keeps trying to bring you back with someone, to bring them into your life, to bring them into proximity with you so that you guys can learn and grow together and heal past the circumstance that hurt you both. But you keep sticking your head in the sand and you keep like, ah, but I get it. I do. I get it. It's just that Mona is here. It's this thing. You cannot take a time out from this. This is the part of the movie where everything gets real good. This is the part where they play like the dramatic music and then they're like, "Da, da, 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 da." And all the action's happening. And you're like, oh, holy crap. This is not where you step out of the movie to like take a phone call. This is not the time to do it. This is a time where you actually need to look. This is a crucial point where the information that you witness in this part of the movie is going to give you a very keen understanding of the next several parts, all the way through to the end. All the way through to the end. Have you ever watched a movie where you missed like a couple sentences because you were looking for something in your purse, or if you're at home, you went to the kitchen to get another snack or a drink, and you were only gone like a minute or so. It wasn't a long time. But there's other things that happen in the movie, and you're like, what the hell? I don't understand. And it all ties back to that 1 minute that you were gone, because that's when they told you that so and so was actually the main character's um, hidden child or something like that, right? Yeah, you have to be fully present. You can't take a time out right now. Okay. You're definitely free to decide whatever you want to decide and go through this however you want to go through this. But if you're not going to be present and you're going to stuff your ears with ego tissues, since your feelings were hurt at some point, which I'm not trying to invalidate your feelings, it's just, you know, that doesn't give you an excuse to stuff your ears up when your soul is trying to give you crucial information. This is a part where the next major cycle is being set up. You're not being set up for failure. I'm saying it's being established. The foundation of this next portion of your life, next portion of your career growth, next portion of whatever it is being set up right now. And if you're not going to be fully present right now, everything that you're going to build from this point forward can come down like a house of cards. You see, it's like the difference between um okay, I'll tell you guys this. Yesterday we were having family games. So, first and foremost, the kids played Uno. Uno no mercy or something like that. That was a crazy game. I didn't play because I know my emotional limits. I'm not even joking. I fell asleep. I don't know how long I was asleep on the couch. I woke up to them screaming because apparently someone, I don't know if they set someone up, but someone ended up having to pull 80 cards from the 80, 80 cards. I was just like, oh, shit. What did I wake up to? Right. And then, like a second after that, someone won. And I was just like, that's why I don't play this game. That's why I don't play this game. I tell you, that's how we start a family feud. And then they saw that I woke up and they're like, let's play Jenga. And I was like, oh Lord, oh Lord. So they set up Jenga. And I have this way of playing Jenga. I like to up the ante, but I do. I like to up the ante. I like to make things interesting. So it's my turn. And not only do I grab from the base, I grab from the base a piece that I determine has partial weight on it. I'm giving away my secret. Partial weight, meaning only the back end has the weight because the tower is tilted ever so slightly. And so when I go to pull that out, I pull it in such a way where the entire tower on top of it will rotate. Physics. And so if it's rotated ever so slightly, like a 40, 35, 40 degree rotate, um, it creates an instability because the levels are at 90-degree angles to each other. When it's not a 90-degree angle, depending on what they pull, that's going to cause the tower to topple, right? Teresa already gets it. Everybody hate playing Jenga with me. So one of the kids, they finally used their noggin. When they went to go pull their piece, they did the same thing, but they rotated it back. And if you're not paying attention to what's happening, you won't know how to undo what's being done. All I had to do was pay attention. Whatever you can do, I can undo. I just have to know how you did it. That's it. I just have to know how you did it. If you're not paying attention because you already have this preconceived notion, you already have this, already have that, you're not going to know what was done to undo it. You see exactly the movement I'm making, and everyone knows. All the kids know that when I play Jenga, I'm going to do this. So you're going to have a leaning tower no matter what. I'm going to do it at the bottom. I'm going to do it at the top. I'm going to do it at the middle. I'm going to do it from an outside piece. I'm going to do it from a center piece. I'm going to go however the heck I want to do it. And if they just paid attention, they could completely undo it by just rotating it back. The things that you're going through because someone did something and then you committed to their action rather than undoing their action and choosing your own. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do, right? If you commit to someone else's actions, something someone else initiated, you will not have much to celebrate because that wasn't your choice. You're going to feel as though you have no power, you have no control, you have no choice. Yes, you do have a choice. Yes, you do have a choice. You absolutely always have a choice. Do you want to admit to yourself that you have a choice? Because that's the most powerful thing. When the choices that are presented to us are choices we don't necessarily want, they're not our first option. For many people, not everyone, but for many people, we have this very common logic of, oh, we have no other options. Yes, you do. You just don't like them. If you choose the most appropriate action, it will present new options, some that are much more enjoyable for you than others, right? Example of this, um, I've been totally in my head lately in Delulu land. Not in my head like it's a bad thing, just like living my best Delulu life right now in my head. And the past several days, I haven't been tracking my macros. And I've kind of just been like, I could feel it in my body. I'm not eating enough protein. I know for a fact I haven't eaten enough carbs. I feel the weakness, the lack of fuel. So past several days, I've kind of just been following what my body wants to eat. And what's happened? Yesterday I really pigged out. I did. I'm not even mad about it. I ate quite a bit of carbs. And my thing was I didn't weigh anything out, so I don't really know how to input that. Um, I made that decision. It wasn't the most responsible decision if I'm prepping for a competition. It's not the most responsible decision. But here's the thing, it opens me up to another decision. So I was talking to a dear friend yesterday who knows all about my competition prep and macros stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, I just, this is a dirty bulk. This is, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go ham on Monday. I can feel so much fuel in my muscles. I can feel it. So that one bad decision, that one irresponsible decision, actually it was multiple. It's been a week of irresponsibility. That, oh, that opens up tremendous potentiality because I've been getting weaker and weaker at the gym. I don't have enough fuel. I know how I'm sabotaging myself. I know how I'm sabotaging myself. But that opens up tremendous potentiality because guess what? Monday is leg day. It's leg day. I'm going to be burning all that fuel. So it wasn't a bad decision. It was an irresponsible one. But in the greater picture, it's not that big a deal. I'm a year out from a competition. It's not that big a deal. What I need to do now is support myself in my process. But Emmy, you messed up. I didn't mess up. I made an irresponsible decision. And that irresponsible decision was rooted in hormones. I'm starting a cycle. So yeah, I'm going to pig out on certain things. Why? Because it supports hormone production. See, if you don't understand yourself and your mechanics, you're just going to think all you do is mess up. No, no, depending on what part of your menstrual cycle you're entering into, that's going to determine how much weight you can lift, how much strength you have, or how weak you feel. So I nourished myself. That's all it is. I nourished myself. And that's a healthier mindset than me saying, oh, I messed up. Now I can't do it. Yes, the hell I can and I will. I can and I will. Why? Because I'm doing the whole thing perfect? No, because I'm doing what is right for me when it is right to do it. My dirty bulk is still much cleaner than the healthy diets that people eat for about 95% of the world. Even my dirty bulk is healthier. It's not about comparison. It's about me giving myself the perspective. Did you mess up? No. I needed to be gentle with myself in that moment. Emotions are running high. The change is here. Continuing with that analogy, yesterday when I went to go open the door, I was standing on one leg, leaning, looking out the door, and my hand kind of went down and grazed the outer portion of my left thigh. And I had to look down because I had a whole cup hand worth of quads. I was like, bitch, where you come from? Did you come from Brookies? Those are brownie cookie hybrids. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, no, it came from a Brookie. A whole package of Brookies. A whole pack of Brookies. Mm-hmm. They're paleo Brookies. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be okay. Sometimes when you think you messed up, all you're doing is bringing out the world that lives inside you out to your external world. You're allowing yourself to step into a whole different existence by simply seeing yourself in a different way. Is it enough for me to do a wellness competition? Probably not. Those girls have the most monstrous legs. I don't know if I could do that. But feeling that tells me there's so much more to me than I haven't learned yet how much more there is to me. That would be the better way to put it. I haven't quite learned it yet. yet, but I'm willing to learn now. Now I'm really willing to explore. So, does it make sense now why I'm like, on Monday, I'm a fucking go ham on legs? I'm going to go to the other gym that my son said he lifts 16 45-pound plates. The gym I go to can only load 6 on each side. So that's 12. So he's like pressing like 800 something pounds. I'm like, I think I might be able to do that. I might if I have enough glucose. I might. I might. We'll see though. We'll see. And that's going to be possible because I chose to cheat on myself with food. You see what I'm saying here? Sometimes the thing that you do that you think is messing up, it's actually setting you up. It's setting you up for what you need to do. Now, I don't know, I might try it tomorrow. I might not, because really my focus is on creating deeper separation, right? Deeper separation in my thighs. That doesn't require heavier weights. That requires more specialized movement at a lighter weight, heavier reps, or yeah, more reps, not heavier. So there's decisions that need to be made. But do you see how that one thing that most people be like, oh, you messed up, is actually the thing that set me up for the next round of options that opens the door real wide, really wide. You're not failing yourself. You are unknowingly choosing things that are giving you the opportunity to be presented different options. You need to work on allowing your brilliance to shine. For so many of us, we are so shamed into a space of denying our true brilliance. Why? Because people who are so accustomed existing in a space of darkness and shadow are uncomfortable comparing themselves to you. That is their problem. If they feel intimidated by you, they need to stop comparing themselves to you. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line at this point. You've been denying your potential. Emotions are running high because you're getting to a space where you know you can't pretend anymore. You know you can't pretend anymore how amazing you actually are. You lack the clarity because you've been listening to other people who don't understand you. They don't understand you. For most people who you'll go to for advice, um, not all, but most, these are people who might get a portion of what you're talking about, but they don't actually understand you. And so they're going to give you advice on how they think they can save you, not on how they know you're simply going through this in order to see how strong you actually are. So that's the difference between me and other readers. Um, I don't just see the circumstance. I don't just see your hidden potential. I see both and I understand where the center point is. And then I don't tell you what to do. I give you clarity on what you're doing so that you can make a more informed choice going forward. There's differences. There's many, many differences in the interactions that you're having with people. Now, when you go to someone who is simply, and this happens more often than you realize, if you go to someone who's simply using your difficulty as an opportunity to make themselves feel as though they know more, they're more capable, and now they're going to out of pity give you advice, you're going to be reducing your productivity. You are, because that's some type of covert low grade competition comparison circumstance, and that's just, it's never the most beneficial for you. I have zero desire to compete or compare with you. Your circumstance is separate from mine. You have no impact on my journey. I have no impact on yours unless you allow that. And so it's just this thing of, oh, have you noticed this, this, and this? No, maybe you should look at that and then decide, right? If you allow your emotions to take you into a space where now you don't trust yourself, there will be no motion. If you're afraid to feel what needs to be felt, if you're afraid to release the emotions that need to be released, there will be no motion. The true purpose of life is to feel the full range of motion and emotion, because emotion is the fuel. It's the fuel for your rise, it's the fuel for your ascension mechanics. All types of emotion fuel this. All types of emotion fuel this. These people who think like you can only be happy and positive, or else, you're wicked or something. Yeah, okay. Sure. But no, anger is actually one of the most potent fuels. But if you don't know how to harness that, that's like trying to um, roast some s'mores using rocket fuel. That's not that's not a good option. That's just not a good option. It's like trying to pour diesel on a campfire to get it started. That's not a good option. That's just not. That's not. It's not. It's not a good option. It's toxic. You have to know how to use these things, these emotions. You have to know how to release it in a controlled manner, not lashing out, but actually using it to propel your forward trajectory. Influence in reverse. This is just further confirmation. You are not to allow someone to influence the most important decisions of your life, people who don't know you. You're giving people who don't know you that kind of power over your life, your job, your relationships, your family. That is a huge no no. That is a huge, huge no no. Huge no no. Not even me. I should not have that type of say or control or influence over you, right? As Kel was saying earlier, you're just seeking confirmation. And the things that I'm telling you should simply serve as confirmation for what your soul is already communicating to you, right? Has been communicating to you. You have to use discernment. The emotions are running high. And just because emotions are running high does not mean you're out of control. It means you have tremendous amounts of fuel. What you do with that fuel, that's on you. That's your choice. I hope that whatever you choose, it's going to be a very responsible use of that fuel. You can use fuel to burn down a village or use fuel to power the machinery to build it in a fortified way. Um, it's up to you. It's up to you. That fuel is fuel. It can be used to destroy, it could be used to build, it could be used to sustain. You choose how you're going to use that. Okay. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta go get ready to teach my class. Wait. I have things to share with you guys. So I'm going to be live on the 17th. That's in 2 days for the lunar eclipse. This is huge. I can't get too deep into why it's so huge. This is about setting the stage. This is about making sure all the pieces are in place before the launch of the next part. You have to be very careful about the energies from this point forward. You have to be very careful about the energies and how you use it, okay? Um and then of course I have the baneful protection workshop. This is a very intense workshop where I'm teaching you how to very assertively defend your space. This is not about teaching you how to target someone and cause them harm. No, I don't ever do that. I don't ever teach that. This is about teaching you how to be very powerful within your space, how to powerfully defend your home, your family, how to create barriers and boundaries that cannot and should not be crossed. And then I also have the Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop. This is a really good one if you've been struggling to maintain your energy, maintain your auric field. You continuously have struggles with chakra stuff, shielding stuff, all of that. This is a really good workshop. There's no prerequisite for this. And oftentimes, people who join the Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop, they end up deciding to go into the full certification program. This is about self help. This is not teaching you how to work on other people. You use these techniques to work on other people, high likelihood you'll get a parasitic breach. I always tell people that, and that's the reality. So, if you want to know any new updates, any new events, new opportunities, this is the link to go to. It's my Hubi link. It has everything. It links you to all of my websites, all of my work, all of my social media platforms. This is where I regularly will announce new events. This is also where I will be sharing once I have the details and the dates for the next in person retreat that I'm going to have. That is going to be one hell of a retreat. It's going to be a whole being reset. Your entire life, every aspect of your life is going to be addressed. Once I have the information ready to publicly share, it will be uploaded onto that link. It's my Hubi link, and you guys will be able to see it then. I gotta go. Please give this video a thumbs up. Oh, final thing. Amazon favorites. I finally have an Amazon storefront. These are some of the things that I use either on a daily basis, I use for my family, I use to work out, supplements, things like that. You just click on that QR code or the link in the comments, and you'll be able to see all the different things. Yeah, you can email my team at contact@emmyevolving.com. If you guys have questions about services or events, just email my team, contact@emmyevolving.com, and someone will get back to you. I must go. I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. I will see y'all on the 17th, maybe sooner.